Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing today? I hope the answer is amazing. So, I played in the expedition tournament that was put on today by the Great Parliament, and I did pretty well. I won't spoil any of the results or anything, but unfortunately, the first half of my first match, my microphone was not working. My audio on the computer was working a little bit, so you might hear music cut in and then it'll cut out again. It's because Windows did an update and it was just a giant pain in the butt. So I had commentated and played through, so there's all these pauses and stuff where I'm like looking at cards and things like that, and I'm not playing at my normal pace because I'm talking about what I'm about to do and what I think my opponent's got. And unfortunately, all of that got cut out. So I'm re-recording that now. And I'm going to splice this in so that the re-record section goes, and then you're going to get the regular live commentary. But for now, it's going to be re-record, and then we'll kind of see where that goes. So I'm going to go ahead and start this up. I am playing a thrown-together version of my ScoutCrag deck. I didn't tune it up too much from the changes I made. The big change is it's got the Skycrag Insignia and the Scout Killer card. So we are going to play against Dr. Pringles as our first match. They are on they're just on a cup deck, a pretty standard cup deck with lots of removal in here. 2 Defiance, 3 Vanquish, and 2 Pristine Light, which is going to become very important, those numbers, when you see the Game 2 and Game 3. Yeah, well, I'm not, like I said, not going to spoil anything. We'll just go ahead and watch it, and then 4 Harsh Rule. So it's interesting what happens during this game. And here's where I'm just kind of going over all the stuff that they've got, what we're looking at, what we're worried about. We go over and look at the market, and we see that they've got a single Lightning Storm. They're only running a 4-card market, which is a little bit odd there. But they've got the Lightning Storm, which is what we really care about. That's the only card out of their market that we really care that much about. So we're just doing the copy here. I'm kind of going through showing you how these tournaments work. So I have to do the copy, then I go add them as a friend. So that's what's happening right now. Because there's not really a tournament room that you can set up within Eternal, so this is how we have to do them. This is all third-party stuff that people have done. Anytime Eternal does their tournaments, they set up special events for them, but for us as community tournaments, we just have to throw things together. Hopefully they'll give us some kind of tournament room thing. That'd be kind of neat, but until then, hey, this is what we do. So then we challenge them, we go to ScoutCrag, and we start it up. So we were on commentary for this one, which is why you see the rock say that we may start right here. So we had to delay and wait to start. I had already done my mulligans. We were waiting for Dr. Pringles to do theirs, and then we get to begin. This hand is a slow start hand, but we keep it anyways, and then we kind of run off with the Granite coin first just to make sure that we can play a 2-drop on turn 2. We run out one of the 2 Insignias. We drew another one, not the greatest in the world. Drop that Insignia, drop the Blurreechaser. Our opponent is on all their colors. They draw in. Hopefully our Blurreechaser survives. We're expecting a Defiance here, but we go ahead and go into it, and that's kind of what I'm talking about. So we go ahead, and I believe we play the Insignia. And then because we're expecting it, I think we go ahead and Scout here. I could be wrong, but I think it's a Scout. No, we play the Peaktop Trucker and then just swing in so that we can Scout next turn. I believe we get Defianced. Yep, there's the Defiance. Unfortunate, but it happens. Not a big deal. And then we pass turn over to Dr. Pringles. We did not go into this game hoping for much at all, that we were going to do anything here to win. They dropped the Eileen's Favor. Luckily, we have the coin. We're going to be able to break that Aegis just in case we need it. So we go for the Scout, I believe, in order to pump up our Trekker. This is going to let us swing in for 4. You're going to see we throw a lot of power to the bottom of our deck. We got extremely unlucky this game on the power draws. Dr. Pringles, I think, Defiances again. If I remember right. Maybe they take the 4, but I thought they Defianced again. Note that they only have 2 Defiance in their deck. They had them in the opener. So we got really unlucky, both in our power draws and in our opponent's draws early game. So this early game is not going too well for us. We are an aggro deck that has dealt no damage and has just been kind of hated out to start with. It's really rough for us, and we just have a 2-2 that's not going to swing for 3 turns. So we're in a really bad position here. We pass back to Dr. Pringles. They play out an Amber Acolyte. It's going to be a little rough. I believe we torch this to get it out of the way. We might leave it, but I think we torch that. No, we think about the torch, and then we passed it back. We got super lucky drawing an Eclipse Dragon, so now we're going to go ahead and swing in. I think originally, since we didn't torch, we were thinking about playing out the Merchant. Very lucky to get this dragon. 100% very lucky to get this dragon. And they have the Vanquish, of which they only have 3. So now, They've gotten both their defiances and one of their 3 vanquishes, and just taken out every single thing that we've done. They haven't had to do a single piece of mass removal yet, which is super bad for us because it means that they're just 1-for-1ing us and keeping their life up, and their mass removal is going to be available later. They do manage to get down the healer. We pass through. This is where I'm talking about whether we're going to kill it or not, and we go ahead, Streets of Flame it so that we can scout because we want to make sure we get some action. Luckily we do, because we have to throw more power to the bottom. I think this is now 3 power we've thrown to the bottom of our deck. So it's a really bad situation. We scout again, and yet more power that we throw to the bottom. So we're all over the place on getting this power, and our opponent drops a Temple Scribe. We're not worrying too much about the Temple Scribe. Then they drop an Amber Acolyte. That's a little frustrating, but we can deal with that. We have a plan, and our plan is going to be to swing the Blurreechaser into their Amber Acolyte, and then torch if we need to kill it. So we swing in, or we scout first because there's no reason not to. If they got Defiance, they got Defiance. We keep the burn, swing in with both. We're going to get through for 2, finally getting some damage on the board. Note that we are into like turn 6 or 7 here, and this is the first damage we've done this game. So we go ahead, kill off the Amber Acolyte that we can't get through, play out, hold the Fire Sigil for the Merchant. So we're going to use this, and then we're going to go get the, I believe we go grab the Furnace Mage in case they get a cup, because they've not played a single cup yet, and we're going to need that. Or we're also worried about in case they have any type of like other things to go with. But mostly it's just cup. So they play out another 1-drop here. We don't really worry too much about it. And then they Wisdom. They're digging. We're expecting sweepers anytime now or a cup. And we want to keep their unit count low. Because if they have no units, they can't just freely cup and draw extra cards. They have to actually make some choices. So we're going to try to put them on heavy choices here when they go to do this. So they play out a Devotee of Sands. Not what we wanted to see, but it's not the worst thing in the world to have the Streets of Flame. We're going to swing through with everything because we're offering the trade here. Once again, we're trying to keep their unit count low. We can maybe get a 2-for-1 out of this deal or a 3-for-2, depending on how they block. We're hoping they block like this, but they wise up and they realize they need to block in case of another torch. We Streets of Flame the 1-3. This allows us to get what we wanted, which was the 2. Notice we put another power to the bottom. So, yeah, just not super good luck here with any of our scouts, with any of our draws, really. So we go ahead and go this route. And then here's where the commentary got really funny because they had no idea why we did the next play that we do. So Dr. Pringles plays a healer here. And when they play the healer, they pump the Amber Acolyte up to, or they pump the healer. They swing in, and then they pump the healer. Now, Dr. Pringles is playing really aggressive with their cup deck, which is odd because it's normally a very defensive deck at this point. But they pump up the healer to 2-5. I have no way of swinging through a 2-5. So we swing with just the dragon. On this one, I'm sorry, it's the next turn we do where we do the swing we do. So we swing with the dragon. We know they've got to remove it. If they have mass removal, they have mass removal. We've still got the 4-3 in the back. They draw the second of their 3 vanquishes. And then they swing through. We go ahead and take it because we don't care. How low they get us doesn't matter. They're either going to control the board or not control the board. Here's where we do the play. So we swing in with the 2-2, knowing that they're probably going to block because why would they not block? They've been playing a little loose up to this point anyways. And then we blood hunt so that we can kill it off. Now, the commentators are like, oh, well, they got a 2-for-1. But it's like, seriously, I can't get through a 2-5. It's just not possible without getting some type of pump, and I'm not getting anything. My draws have been terrible. So I've got to do this and then more scouting to try to find better draws. So we kill that off, and then we just have to hope that they don't draw more removal. But they've sacked out pretty good so far on their removal draws. Here we look through, and the best thing for us to grab is the Caleb's Persuader. So we are going to go ahead and mark it for the Caleb's Persuader to play next turn. Once again, just hoping. If they don't have anything, we're going to push as much damage as we can so that we can recover after they play a cup or after they play a harsh rule. We're just really hoping not to face any mass removal. They swing in. We don't block again. Then I don't believe they play anything but power here. And then now, what I didn't know at this point was my opponent was also getting unlucky with power draws. They had 2 power in hand at this point. We go ahead and Caleb's Persuader the Smuggler, because if we Caleb's Persuader the Smuggler, we've spread out we've diversified our threats so that if they have a removal or if they have a silence, they have to make this hard choice on which one they want to go with. They drew into the Desert Marshal. They silenced the 3-1, so we've still got a 5-5. And then they go ahead and block. So basically, instead of getting a 2-for-1 trade, they only got a 1-for-1. Now, the cool thing is that our scout, as I'm saying right now, is that our scout is going to keep getting to push through for 2. And we're going to keep just dinking them down, knowing that we have burn. We want to get rid of all of their units. We prioritize removing their units because Cup is a useless draw if they have no units, which is why we go ahead and do not kill the 2-1 here, but swing in because we want to kill that for free. Get them knocked down to 6, which gets them into range of a double torch, or if we draw another torch, or a Streets of Flame, or if we draw a dragon, or if we draw just about anything, we're going to be able to push damage here. So now we pass the turn again. They get, I believe, another Marshal, but I'm not entirely sure at this point. They play, oh no, maybe it's an Amber. No, they play another Desert Marshal. Now this is the point where, because they played this Desert Marshal and they haven't played any other removal, I'm putting them on having no removal in hand. I don't know what they have in hand, but no removal in hand. So we go ahead and start to swing and think about it. We go, okay, they've got no removal. Obviously they would have used it. We kill this off. Swift Refusal will help us if they draw the removal. We just have to fade 1 turn, and we've got them here. We play this out. We're ready in case they have removal, and then we have the Furnace Mage, and then the backup in case they don't. They have nothing, so we managed to get through. But note that they drew 2 Vanquishes and 2 Defiances, but luckily the rest of their draws were dead. Then we go on to game 2. This hand's unkeepable. We have no fire. We don't have any good plays. This hand's also unkeepable because it's too slow against what they've got, so we can't keep this one. We go ahead and throw this one out again. It takes a little while because we're talking about how we would like to keep it, but it's just too slow to keep. So we go down to 6, which is unfortunate, but hey, it happens. You can hear the music in the background. There you go. You can hear the music. This is where we got the music come back in, but the mic still wasn't working. So we play out the fire and then pass turn. We play our heart out this game. It is, but it just doesn't get us anywhere. They go for the Seek Power. We go for the Clodagh, I believe. Yep. Clodagh goes out. Pass turn back to Dr. Pringles. Dr. Pringles. I don't remember what they do here. I remember this game doesn't go very well for us. But what do they do? Nothing. We get to play out. We swing in. I believe they Defiance us. So note this is another game where they had Defiance in their opener. Game 2, Defiance in their opener. We drop the Peaktop Trekker. Pass turn back. I think they silence us in advance. I think they play a Marshal and silence here, if I'm remembering this game right. Yeah, they play a Marshal, silence us. So we draw the Fend Off. We go ahead and I believe Streets of Flame their Marshal here, so that we can put through. Oh no, we Fend Off because we. Okay, yeah, okay. We start to go think Fend Off, and then we're like, no, it's better just to kill it. We Streets of Flame. Eclipse Dragon's good to see on top. We swing through, hit him for 2. Already we're doing better this game than last game, but we have less resources. So it's all going to come down to what they've got. We look through everything, don't have a lot going on, and they drop. What do they drop? I think they drop a healer here. Yeah, they drop a healer here, which means that our Peaktop Trekker can't really get through, but we go ahead and Eclipse Dragon. Only swing through with the Eclipse Dragon. Now we're trying to push damage here, which is why my next play we do what we do on my next play. The Eclipse Dragon does pretty good. We're hoping, but we'll see. They play out some power. They play out a 2-1 Amber Acolyte. We don't really care about that one. I think they swing with their 2-5. No, they don't. Okay, so we go ahead and we freeze down the 2-5 so that we can scout, see what we've got. We have a Clodagh. We're good with this one. We swing through with the 2-2 and the 4-4, but what we didn't realize was they topped another Marshal. So second Marshal comes through. They silence our dragon, but then they block our 2-2, which is a really big surprise for me, but unfortunately makes me think that they've probably got Pristine Light or something else. So they go ahead, they tank for a while on this, and then they block the 2-2. We swing through, hit him for 4, drop the Clodagh, pass turn back, and then here is where I believe they have Pristine Light or Cup. I think it's Cup first, actually. They play out power, they play out the Chalice, they Cup their 2-4 into a 4-4. We draw another. Oh yeah, this is where it is. They have Pristine Light this whole time. They're thinking whether to do it. We swing in with everything. They tag us with a Pristine Light. Now we have them on 8, but watch what happens here. So they swing it through for 4. Takes them a long time to swing for that. I don't understand why, but it took them a long time to swing through with that. And then they Pristine Light, getting back their 4-4, killing off our 2 4-4s, and now they they can silence our Clodagh, which I believe they do here. And as soon as they silence the Clodagh, we're pretty much dead. Oh no, I'm sorry. They play the second Comber Healer. We can't swing through 2/5s. We draw dead, and we're just out because we know they've got the. Since we couldn't pump our Clodagh here, we knew they had the Marshal, and since they had the Marshal also, we knew that our Clodagh was not going to get pumped. It's just going to get silenced next turn, and so we're pretty much out of that game. So we've scooped that one up and went on to game 3. This is where I kind of go over why I scooped. We tried really hard, but I mean, once again, you know, 2 Pristine Lights, 2 Defiance. They had a Defiance in the opening hand. They just had it all again. It happens. Happens. So we go on to the next game, hoping for slightly better. Like I said, we're kind of talking about it here. There we go. Yeah. So we're talking about it there. We go into the third game. Game 3 opens, and I think we can't keep our opener. So we pass it back because that's just not enough action. We do keep our second one. It's a little rough. We need to find some power, but we go ahead and keep this one. Now, this is going to be slightly aggro. We just have to hope that, once again, they don't draw into all of their, you know, freebie 1-for-1 removal. But let's see what happens with this one. And if you want to see the commentary from the commentator side, we were the commentated game, so you can go check that out. We go play out the fire, pass the turn. We're going to play the Clodagh next, I believe. That's what our goal is. They play out a Seat. They play out a Temple Scribe. Not too worried about that. We drop our Clodagh, so Clodagh hits the field. And then we pass back. They have the Desert Marshal, and they preemptively silence, which is a good play on their part, but just unfortunate for us. So here's where they're going to drop the Desert Marshal, silence us, so that we don't really have good swings. What we didn't know, okay, yep, opponent, Primal Sigil, and they tank for a while, and I should probably have sped this up for you guys. There's the Desert Marshal, so they play the Desert Marshal. They preemptively silence us. We go ahead and, looking what we've got, decide it's probably the best idea to go ahead, double up, and swing through. This is going to let us do the Scout. It sucks that we Scout twice, see something we want to keep because we need the power. We also need the second Primal is the big deal. And they go ahead and don't block. They take 4. We kill off their 1/1. Now, the reason they didn't do that was because what we didn't know at the time is that they had the Vanquish in hand. So they vanquish our Clodagh here. So, one of their 3 vanquishes. And then we play the Insignia, play out the double Blurreechaser, pass the turn back. Now, at this point, they go ahead and they drop the Merchant. And what I'm talking about here is when they drop the Merchant, we know exactly what to go grab. They're hoping that we're going to be dumb and didn't look at their deck, and that they're going to be able to get us with the Lightning Storm. So they tank for a while on this, probably hoping we're an idiot. Thankfully, we're not. So watch what happens here. They play the they play out the Merchant. Great Value Smuggler hits the board. We're like, okay, they went and got the Lightning Storm because it's the only card in their entire market that's any good against us, unless they just want to give us power. See, this is where I go look at it, and I'm like, okay, and finally we don't care. Ice, but we don't care. Lightning Storm's what they got. Boom. Okay, so we're gonna play around Lightning Storm. So this is the point where we decide not to pump any of our guys. We go check out the market, see what we want to grab. We are contemplating whether we want to grab the Thudruck or the gun, and I won't spoil it for you. We swing in. Now, the goal of swinging in here is that we want to kill off their Merchant before they can get down something and turn it into a 4/4. We cannot really deal with a 4/4 very well at all. It's just a little bit too big. So our goal here is swing in. Hopefully they block both to prevent some damage. But even if they double block, we trade off 1-for-1 here since we're going to play the coin no matter what. So that's kind of our goal. Our worst possible outcome is we get a 1-for-1 trade. We can't play around Defiance at all because if we sit back and do nothing forever, we're never going to get through. If we pump either one of these two, then we're going to lose both to the Lightning Storm, but we want to disincentivize the Lightning Storm next turn before we get the Thudrock down. So we go ahead and get the worst outcome for us, but that's okay because we were expecting this. We trade in the Camp Surveyor, which I wish that we had something other than the Camp Surveyor to trade in since we're getting the Thudrock, but hey, whatever. So we go for the Thudrock. And the goal here is that we're going to be outside the range of the Lightning Storm with our Blurreechaser and be able to push a bunch of damage. So that's what we go for. Now, at this point, I didn't know they didn't have any other removal in hand. They're sitting on basically stone cold nothing. And I didn't realize this, but we still played as if they didn't have it and still played around everything. So we go ahead and we get the Thud Rock. Hopefully they don't have any way to pump this 2/2 and we'll be able to snowball it. That's our goal. And if not, we'll be able to stun it if they make it big. So we've got options. We got plays here. They play the Chalice. That's great for me. They play out a power. We draw a power. We drop Thud Rock, kill the 2/2, and now we've got swings. So at this point, with the Thud Rocks out, we can go ahead and pump up our Blurreechaser once. So we drop the Thud Rock, and I believe pump the Blurreechaser one time so that we're outside the range of what they've got. And I'm kind of talking about the play here and talking about what I want to do in the game. Like I said, we were commentating this, but my mic wasn't working. Now you have actual commentary. They've gotten the entire deck. I like that. We're going to go ahead and swing through. Yeah, we're going to swing through. We only need to deal the 5 here, and hopefully they didn't draw. If they drew the Pristine, well, they drew the Pristine, and we're just kind of unlucky. But, I mean, that's kind of how this game's been going. The uber value they get off of all the Pristines and all of the other stuff is just a little bit annoying at times. We're going to stun this, which is going to help us out. Hopefully they didn't get the... hopefully they didn't draw into the Defiance. That's the big hope. They can't use anything else other than the Defiant. Oh, Vanquish. Darn. Well, there it is. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. There's the Vanquish. I almost want to scout that away, but it's just not worth it. We're going to go ahead and stun this. But yeah, I was saying earlier, and you didn't get to hear it because the audio was messed up, but against these removal pile decks, they're long, boring slogs of games, and these cup decks are some of the worst because they tend to just sit around and do nothing for a really long time, which makes it a little bit difficult to play against, but you know, we got to do our best here. In case there's the harsh rule, we are not going to play anything out other than we'll play out that power, pass the turn, see what happens. If they go to swing for the Thud Rock, we will actually just Fend Off and then expect the Pristine to come through and kill our Thud Rock. But stunning this for a turn is going to be kind of good for us. See, the problem is we have to play around both Pristine and Harsh Rule, and neither of those are things that are particularly... Yeah, so we're expecting the Pristine to come through here. They're going to get their guy back. We're going to lose ours. Then we're going to have to stun it after the fact. Yep, there it is. Yeah, Pristine Light is such a badly designed card. It is not something that should have been in this game. It's just so... Why would you not run it? Like, why would you not play that card and get absolute ridiculous value out of it? It's just so frustrating at times because you're like, really? Like, really? Let's go and just play this out now. Pass the turn to our opponent. Hopefully they don't have another Pristine Light. If they do, we're just going to hit the scoop button because, you know, that's just something that we can't really get over or around or through in any way, shape, or form. So if they go to swing, we're actually going to stun the deadly one here because it'll pump us up big enough that we can block. So we'll see what happens. I kind of hope they do go for the swing. If they don't go for the swing, we'll stun the 410, I guess. Just to kind of get more damage through, see what we get. Because we're going to be... Well, let's see. If I stun this one, we become... Well, we can stun on the next turn. We're going to be a 5... Start the turn, see what we get. If they've got the Defiance, we're dead. So let's just swing, see if they've got the Defiance. Survey says they do, so we're gonna go ahead and scoop that up. Okay, so that's game. Well, we tried, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to report that, report our loss, and move on to the next one. Where's the report button? Here we go. Games won 1. So games won or games lost 2, and we'll report that. And there we go. Hopefully everyone else will finish pretty quickly, and we'll go on from there. Oh, we were the last ones. Oh, that's right, because we had to start late. Okay, so here's our game 2. Game 2, we are going to face down Mr. Meese Eeks. So let's go grab them and see if we can maybe have a little bit less A little bit less bad variance on our part with the power draws there. Game 3 we actually had decent power draws, but there was no way we were going to be winning against a bunch of cards and all removal. So here is a pretty standard aggro list, running Reweaves for value out of Imperial Loyalist. Main deck Caleb's Persuaders, that's an interesting choice. Plate Makers. So this is just going to be a race between the two of us. If we can keep the Hojins down, we have a pretty decent chance here. Oh, it's an even-handed Golem deck. Okay. So it's an even-handed Golem, even-handed Rakano aggro. That'll be interesting to see. With a Yisha for the Rune Hammers. And the Plate Makers. Okay, cool. So this will be interesting. They've got big game on us because we don't have a lot of removal. We're running kind of removal light, which may or may not be correct. Let's go find them. They're not challenging us for some reason. So we're going to go wait at the mulligans per the instructions. And there you go. Now we just have to wait. So you have to wait until they say go so that they can do their coverage stuff. We are going to go ahead and keep this hand. It's got some early interaction. It's got some of our good attackers. We got some payoff. Unfortunately, the vanquishes in our opponent's deck are really going to put us to the task, but we're going to try to get through it all. I'm hoping that the Blood Hunt will be good if we ever find... oh man, an opponent gets to start off hot with the Golem. We're going to go ahead and murder the Golem because we need to. It's not going to be good against most of their later game plays. And if we can get rid of the Golem, then that's going to be good for us. We're going to go ahead, use this so that we can get it out of the way. We need to find Primal. There's Primal. We're good to go. Pass the turn to our opponent. Next, what we're going to be looking for is to get these Clodaghs down, and hopefully they're going to stick and be pretty good. We don't need to use the Spyglass yet, so we're going to hold on to it. Pass turn to our opponent. Good that they had to use that early. Now we're going to drop another Clodagh. We're going to put the Spyglass on this one, swing in. If they've got the Vanquish or the Defiance, well, they've got it, but that happens. The Swift Refusal is going to protect our second Clodagh, even though we're going to lose the first one to a Vanquish. They might also drop a Yisha here, which I hope they go for Yisha, because then we can Blood Hunt, kill it, and... oh, perfect. Okay, good. They went for the Yisha, so what that allows us to do now, drop the Blood Hunt onto this Clodagh. We will keep that because we need to draw it. We're going to not swing through. We're going to kill this, which is going to give us another Scout. Not a big deal. We don't care about that. Kill off the Yisha, which is going to keep the hammers down a little bit. Unfortunately, the hammer on this Clodagh is going to be a bad thing for us, but whatever, we'll take it. And then we swing through. We're going to keep the Swift Refusal open in case they have a Vanquish instead of a hammer, but that play makes me think hammer. Axe Sharpener we don't care about. Hojin we don't really care about either. So we can drop, let's see, this is on 3 and it's after the 6th time, so that's going to be good for us. We can Blood Hunt up this Clodagh. We don't want that. And opponent is going to scoop because they realize that they've got the game going. So that's one of the nice things about this game, is that if they can't answer your Clodaghs or your Peaktop Trekkers, you can take games pretty quickly. Okay, we're going to go at it again. And this time we absolutely have another keepable hand. We'll go ahead and keep it. So we're going to probably start off with the Blurreechaser, and we'll go from there. It's kind of nice when you got a torch that your opponent goes first because you can answer their first play and then go from there. Hopefully we draw Primal soon. We're probably going to make the same play. We're going to start off with the mining team so we can scout. Oh, that is a good one to kill. So we're going to go ahead and murder that one because we knew we were going to want to kill off Hojins early on. Ooh, okay, yeah, we're definitely going to need to play the scout here because we need to find Primal. If we don't have Primal on top, we're going to push. We're going to push that because we don't need it. Pass the turn back to our opponent. It'd be nice if we drew Primal. If not, we'll drop the Blurreechaser. This game might end quickly in our opponent's favor, though, because, well, we're not drawing power. So if we miss on power again, then we're not going to scoop immediately, but it's going to be pretty bad. Yisha here. Oh, Hojin. Hojin's fine. And then they might equip something to it now to get the ramp. Yep, there's the equip now. So they're trying to go for that early value, get the ramp on. We'll give them the chance to block. They probably won't. But, well, we could also just kill it. let's go ahead and just kill it. We need the scout. We need to figure out what's going on here. Streets of Flame, man, I really want it, but we can't afford it, so we're going to go ahead and kill the Hojin. That'll keep them from gaining life, but unfortunately they probably have like a hammer or one of their other big plays, and we're just going to be really out of it. The Armor Smith is going to be bad for us. Rise to the Challenge is going to go find a hammer. That's also bad for us. So we're going to go ahead and probably pump this thing up, since we're going to lose it to the hammer next turn. If it's a unit, we can fend off it, and that'll be okay. But if it's... Oh, they went for Even Hand Golem. Okay, well, I'm pretty okay with that. Even Hand Golem is fine. That feels like a bit of a waste on their part. We need the power, so we'll hold on to that one. And then we're going to swing through, see what they do, and then probably have to stun something coming out next. The cool thing is that with the Rise to the Challenge and Yisha, you can pump up the back end of your unit since this pumps up the front end. So that's kind of neat. Let's see if they swing at us. I'm expecting a swing, but we also have we have two nice spells open and ready to go. If they just pass the turn, we're gonna... Ooh, there's Yisha. Yisha's Bad News Bears. There's an Ornate Katana for the... Okay. That's fine. 6-4. No blocks. We'll take that damage. We're gonna lose this one pretty much no matter what, so we just have to kind of push damage and see what we can do. Yeah, we know it's on top. But we're in a really bad spot here. Let's see what we've got available. And Survey says another Eclipse Dragon, which we definitely don't want. We're gonna swing in with these two. Probably get hammered down. So I'm expecting a hammer because Vanquish can't hit anything. Let's see what happens. If they just go for another Rise to the Challenge, that's going to suck because they can play the one power they need. Go Rise, Hammer, play power, get a 4-4 hammer, kill off my 3-1, and then just sit back on the Golem so that I can't swing through unless I get lucky and top deck another stun. So we're expecting a loss this game due to our bad power draws. Oh, Avagraft. Avagraft is fine because we've already got two of the Blurreechasers out. We're very unlikely to draw a third or fourth. And if we do, we have the Merchant that we can get rid of. And that'll also let us reactivate the Avagraft for our part. So opponent is getting aggressive here. I feel like that's probably correct, but also could be a mistake. But they're capitalizing on the fact that we are drawing pretty darn dead right now. So we are going to... man, I want to keep the Swift removal up. I'm going to go ahead and drop the Howling Peak Smuggler. Go grab the Meltdown. And then I am going to go ahead and melt down this Avagraft. That's going to give us another creature to attack with. I'm not going to... I'm going to swing with the Blurreechaser only. And that'll allow me to double block the Yisha if it swings, or multi-block the Even Hand Golem. We're going to take 2 from this, so swinging out isn't a total mistake. Oh, that's another Yisha, though. That's bad news for us. That's big bad news for us. So they're on 15. We kind of don't have anything we can do. We block there, we go to 1, so we got to double block here in order to not go to 1. And yeah, this game's kind of over. Nothing we can really do about it. We can stun this. So if we drop this, stun this, that kind of is a play. But we didn't get that, so let's drop this. Let's look at what we had on top just to see. It doesn't matter because this game's over. Okay, yeah. So not getting power there, not being able to put down aggression really hurt us. It gave our opponent infinite turns to go find some of their slower stuff. But hey, that happens, you know. I mean, sometimes you keep 2 and you never find your third until 5 turns in. Or 4 turns or whatever it was. So where'd our opponent go? There we go. Hey, they accepted pretty quickly this turn. They get to go first again. They've gone first on every single one of our games. This is not keepable, so we gotta pack that one in. This one is keepable, but not amazing. We do have a turn 1 Scout, which I don't mind. And we have a turn 2 Blurreechaser, so we can go from there. Everybody gets 1, and then let's see what we got. If it's power, we push. We'll keep the Peaktop checker, pass the turn to our opponent. Opponent. This could be pretty good. It could also be pretty rough. It just depends on what they've got. Are they running torches and things? I can't remember, and I'm not going to go open it up right now to look. Recano Artisan. Oh, that was a pretty good draw for them. So they're going to pump up all their weapons. So they might actually have a really good draw here, and we might just be pretty toast, but we're going to see what we can do. If they don't have the ability to kill off our stuff on the next turn, we're going to be in a pretty good position. Wow, this is interesting. Oh man. I kind of want to kill off this Hojin. I don't know what they've got. Let's go ahead and swing, see what happens. They took it. Do they have a pump spell? I saw a pause, but that might have been a blocking pause. Cool. Let's go ahead and... I'm going to scout once. Yeah, I like that. We're going to pass the turn. So this will be really interesting. I might put that spyglass on my 1/4. Depends on what happens here. Swing because they're going to... Oh, huh. I wonder what they were trying to represent there. I'm going to put the spyglass on my 1/4 because it's more likely to be able to get active that way. Power, not necessary. They might have a Defiance, and if they do, good for them. No, they don't. What did they have? They pushed something towards us. Just a hammer in hand, which is going to kill my 4/1. My 4/4, rather. Which is fine. It's not ideal, but it's fine. I don't mind that much. Streets of Flame's pretty good here. So we can Streets of Flame or Blood Hunt their Recano Artisan. I think I go for the Blood Hunt. Yeah, let's go for the Blood Hunt on the Recano Artisan. I'll keep the power. Kill the Recano Artisan. Swing through at them, and we'll keep open our... Yeah, we'll keep the power. We'll keep open our Streets of Flame. Just in case they have something. This can't be hammered unless they draw one of the hammers they pumped, which if they did, that sucks. Yisha the Equalizer, pretty darn tasty there for them. Pass the turn. Anything we can do to that? We could play that, go grab the Thud Rock, which would allow us to stun this, swing through, which might actually be the play. Let's do that play. Oh man, this could be rough, because if they have the hammer, this will be a really rough play. If they have the hammer, this play is incorrect. But if they don't have the hammer, this play is correct. Okay, we're going to play as if they don't have the hammer, which is totally wrong, and you shouldn't play like I'm playing right now. But I'm gonna gamble. I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna risk it. Mostly because if they've got the hammer, there's not much we can do about that. And if they don't have the hammer, like if they've got the hammer, they don't kill the 3/6. They kill the 3/3 or the 2/2, but they don't kill the 3/6. And that's going to take up most of their turn to cast the hammer, and then we can take it out since we've got the snowball. So no matter what they kill with the hammer, we take out the hammer next turn. Avigraft is not nearly as frustrating as they think it is for us, because we're going to push a lot of damage this turn. We are going to... This pushes more damage, so we're going to go ahead and snowball them. Drop this. Pump up our... Yeah, we're going to do that. Pump that up one time. Swing through, swing through. Most likely they kill our Thud Rocks. But if they don't, I'm fine with that because we've got them dead next turn. A hammer here would be a little annoying, but not the worst thing in the world because they kill our Clodagh, but then we get to kill them because we swing through. Hammer is great. Okay, so they go to 9. Kill the... Oh no, they kill the Clodagh and they kill the Thud Rock's Masterwork. We swing back for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, we swing back for 9. So we've got them dead here if they don't have something. Yisha, yeah, does not have anything. Okay, so let's go ahead and swing. And they have nothing. So there we go. That's game. Okay, excellent. So we took that one down. It was a close one, though. Good job, Mr. Meeseeks. That was a really close one. I feel like you played how you had to play. The gamble with the Thud Rocks was what won us that game because, like I said, if they had something, we were. If they had some way to kill the Thud Rocks, we were out. If they didn't, we were fine, and they didn't, so we ended up being fine. That was a big gamble. I don't suggest always playing that way, even though we got a little bit lucky there with it. But it was kind of a calculated gamble. But it was a gamble. The Thud Rock was a big gamble. Okay, here's our new round. Marvin dropped out of it. Mr. Meeseeks, our previous opponent, got the bye. We are going to be against Yorick Yu, who is undefeated, I believe, at this point. No, they're not undefeated. They've lost one. Okay, so we're going to be against Yorick Yu, so we need to go add that person. They are on Stone Scar with Toss Booze and Xenon. Oh, they're on a Stone Scar Witching Hour deck. So Combust, Torch, Annihilate, another removal pile, which is going to be, it's going to be a thing. Hopefully we can bust through all the removal. Hopefully they don't get too lucky against us and just draw into all their removal. But we'll see what happens. I had to get rid of a bunch of people in order to be able to do all of this. Let's go back and look at our opponent's deck while we're waiting on them. So they've got a Wind Chest Cargo in the market. Okay, interesting. Flame Blast, Death Strike, Whispers in the Void. Very interesting. And a Dizzo's Office. So Dizzo's Office and Death Strike and Flame Blast are the ones we care the most about. Whispers, if we get to the late game, I guess I have that in there against Control. Hopefully we're never going to get to the point where that's going to be good against us. Then over here they've got Champion of Chaos. Oh, they're running the Madness. Madness, Devour, Combust. Yeah. So this is just a giant removal pile, kind of like the older versions of the Witching Hour decks, but with Zoe tossed in there, and Toss Boo just for value. So we're going to have to win fast, or we're just not going to have a game here. They have not yet accepted our thing, so... And that one's keepable, we'll keep it. It's not great, but it's keepable. We've got some interaction turn 1 if we need it. We've got all of our colors. We've got what we need to face them down, but we've not, well, we kind of have what we need. We're a little slow off the gates. We're going to need some of our scouters, and we're going to need them to not draw any of their bajillion removal pieces. So we're going to play that one, pass the turn. Disguise our hand a little bit here, because if the seat tells your opponent you've got more power in your hand, so, which is not too bad considering they expect you to have 2 after a mulligan, but, I mean, you might as well just kind of disguise stuff if you can. Oh, that is not a good draw for us. Let's go ahead and scout, see what we got. The answer is a Blurreechaser, which we'll go ahead and keep there, pass the turn to our opponent. Hopefully they don't have too much in the way of removal against us, but chances are they do. We're going to drop that one, pass the turn. If they got the torch, they probably torch that now to keep us from getting scout off of it. If they don't have the torch, then we'll get to scout and swing, which would be kind of nice. If they drop something, we'll get to, well, darn. Let's go ahead and scout first. Their Annihilate will kill it, and their, play that, and then we're just going to go ahead and attack, swing through. That not being power is a little not good for us because we're not going to get the dragon down immediately, but at the same time it's not too bad for us. If they go for champion here, that kind of sucks. We can't kill it easily, but if they don't go for champion, we'll be okay. Huh, what are they? Oh, scrap tank. Okay, so they're going for scrap tanks here. Okay, they probably have torch. They're flexing a torch at us. Oh well, not much we can do about that. I like that one because that's going to let us get this down. So they're flexing a torch at us. They might also be going for the Madness Devour plan. If they are, we'll torch our own 3/3. So if they go for the Madness, we'll torch our own unit. Vara's Favor. Okay, well, that's pretty good value for them. But that means that we're not worrying about Torch Madness this turn, which is good. Start turn. So drop this, swing in for 7. We're not in a super good position right now. We'll keep that one because if they don't have the Torch Madness play, unfortunately we can't torch this. Scrap tank is fine. We'll kill the scrap tank. Combust. In response, we kill... Oh, we don't get to respond. That is super frustrating that we don't get to actually respond to that properly. Fend off this. That is super frustrating. Oh well, not much you can do about it. That means we don't want the blood hunt now. Pass the turn to our opponent. Start the turn. We could double hit that. What are we at scout-wise? We're on 4, so that'd be 5, that'd be 6 if we did that. Which means that one would lose 1. So if we go boom, boom. Let's... I hate to do this and use 3 things on that, but we might have to. Swift Refusal is good. That'll help us against the Witching Hour. And this will give us a bunch of units. So hopefully we don't get wrecked here by Madness. But we probably will. Or maybe another Scrap Tank. Like, they haven't played anything, so they've got to have something, right? Like, there's no way they just have absolutely stone cold nothing. This isn't a great board for them to Madness Devour on, but it is a little bit because either we give them... Oh, just a Teraboo. We're fine with that. If that's all they got, we're fine with that. They can have bad cards all day long. Especially because we're going to get to draw 3 here. Eclipse Dragon's going to be good next turn. Streets of Flame's going to be good this turn. Let's go ahead and play this out. Not shifted. So they don't realize we're representing lethal, but we know we're representing lethal. So pass the turn to our opponent. They can't really afford to swing with the Toss Boo. I guess they can if they think that's going to get him somewhere. No blocks, I'll take 6. That's perfectly fine for me. Granite coin to kill off 1, also perfectly fine. That doesn't really affect anything here. They've got 1 left over, which is a little concerning. But we can't Swift Refusal anything they've got anyways. Swing with everything. They might have a torch, but this dragon's going to kill him once we've passed our turn. That Toss-Boo swing was really... That Toss-Boo swing was questionable. That was a really questionable swing. Like I was saying, I didn't think they could afford to swing with it, but, I mean, I guess they felt differently. Well, obviously they felt differently because they swung with it. I do have to say that was incredibly bad draws on our opponent's side. They probably drew all of their expensive stuff and none of their removal, which, I mean, was good for us, but was unfortunate for our opponent. Like, hopefully we don't get Madnessed out. The Swift Refusal will be kind of helpful there for that. So we'll see what happens. Vara's favor on us, pretty okay, we don't mind. I don't mind them getting that. I'd rather keep that for things that we care about. Drop the Clodagh. If they kill it, they kill it. Not a big deal. We've got a backup copy. I'm not going to use the Fend Off because I'm going to want to protect it. Torch is fine. We can't do anything about that. So we're going to go and drop another Clodagh, drop another Primal Sigil, pass the turn to our opponent. Hopefully they don't have removal for this, or if they do, hopefully it's slow removal, not Annihilate. Annihilate would suck for me. That would be very unfortunate. That is a Merchant. Good. We don't mind the Merchant too much. They probably went and got removal, and they probably then went and got the Death Strike, which is fast, which we can't do anything about. We're going to go ahead and stun this so that we can get the pump. Peaktop Trekker is good. That's going to be a replacement for our Clodagh. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to swing in with this because the Death Strike will hopefully be a little bit too slow to deal with what we're doing here. And if they went and got the Fire Blast instead, we're going to get them there. Oh, Wind Chest Cargo. We're fine with that. So they're trying to get the power they need to cast their... Witching Hour. So that's what they're going for, is Witching Hour, which I am cool with that. We're gonna put the Spyglass on the Clodagh. We're gonna swing with both. Now, unfortunately, we've opened ourselves up to the madness draws here, where they're going to just madness us. And so, basically what's going to happen now, we're going to be in a really bad position, where our opponent is going to get to madness and devour, or madness and obliterate, or combust. Madness and combust our unit, which is unfortunate, but we kind of opened ourselves up to it. If they don't have that play, then we're lucky, but I feel like that's what's about to happen to us. I really feel like that's what's about to happen to us. And I'm expecting the madness. Opponent is slow rolling a play. Oh, just Terrible. Okay, cool. Well, if we get a stun, which we didn't, a stun would have been really, really key there. We didn't find a stun. We can go grab a Thud Rock. If I swing with both, I do get to kill this, no matter how the blocks go, but I lose this one if they block. And if they don't block, I don't lose anything. So we're in kind of a bad state no matter what. I guess we just kind of need to swing through, see if they want to trade both. Streets of Flame, that's pretty good. Let's see what they block. Okay, so they're going for that block. I forgot about the hourglass actually there, so that's actually pretty good from my part. So swing through, kill Terrible, kill that one, and then opponent goes to 11. We've got 6 coming through, so if we can get one good swing in, which is going to be rough, we're not going to be able to do it here. Unfortunately, yeah, I figured the combust was coming through, so we kind of have it off of just damage if we can get the right cards. Start the turn. They're on 11. That's going to do 6, 7, 8, 9. So that'll do 11 if we get it with her out. Let's go for it. It might be wrong, but if they don't have the removal for her, we might be okay here. Oh, another scrap tank. That's bad news. No blocks in case they have a coin. Hopefully they don't have... okay, let's go for it. Cross fingers. Boom! We got there. Oh, gamble, 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 gamble. That's what we do around here, ladies and gentlemen. We gamble. Oh, that one had me on the ropes. Know your outs. Sometimes you gotta go for the gamble. You can't give your opponent... your opponent reported loss 0-2. Is this correct? Yes. Wow, they reported quick. That was insane. That was... Ooh, buddy, that was close. That was close. That was close. That was close. Okay. Sometimes you get lucky, guys. Sometimes you get lucky. But yeah, so the microphone issue, my mic wasn't working or my speakers because of an update. And for some reason, Windows is stupid, and whenever there's an update, it loves to reset your sound settings in OBS. And it also likes to rename your devices until you like replug everything in. It's really frustrating. But so we missed our original, we missed our early commentary. So that was our game 3. So that was pretty good. We got another win there. So hey, we're 2-1. So we're gonna go at least. And that was ScoutCrag in the tournament. So we went 2-1. Match 1, game 1. I honestly didn't expect to win. We got our opponent got a little bit bad variance there. Match 2, we got power flooded. We got bad hand. Went to 6, bad hand, power flood. Match 3 was a little bit closer, but kind of a similar situation. Just not super good stuff. Or not match 3, I mean game 3 and match 1. Similar, it was a little bit like eh. And then we did match 2 and match 3. We had to take some gambles to get some wins. But, you know, sometimes variance just leans your favor. You take the gamble, hope your opponent doesn't have it. Stick your opponent on going, well, if you have it, you're going to get it here. But if not, I'm going to get it here. And both times we got lucky. Our opponent didn't have it. Match 3, game 1, our opponent made a very questionable attack that kind of gave us a lot more chance to get the win. We kind of had it since we had the Eclipse Dragon into the into the Streets of Flame, but you know, our opponent didn't know we would have something like that, especially because the Eclipse Dragon disguises everything. So the Tarabu or Tosbu, yeah, sorry, I always call it Tarabu because everyone plays that card even though it's a bad card right now. It's a bad card in the meta right now. It just, you know, as you saw there, oh, it replaces itself. Cool, but it has a high opportunity cost. That's always the argument I have with everybody, and they try to tell me that card's amazing, and it's never impressed me when I've played it or played against it, unfortunately. But the swing there though was a pretty loose swing because I'm on 25. There's no way I'm gonna block. So what's that swing accomplishing? Kind of nothing, and it loses a blocker. So if I have removal, it's just gonna make things even worse. I've already shown off that I have stun effects. Like, it was just, I don't know, it was a very questionable swing. But otherwise, really great gameplay. Just had to, you know, stick our opponent on saying have your out or nothing, and they just didn't draw enough removal, like, which is really weird from a removal pile style deck. They drew very light removal both games, which is what opened the window for us to be able to get through. And then, I'm sorry, that was match 3. Match 2, really good games. Game 1, our opponent just didn't have any early plays. It was really not that great for them. Game 2, they kind of raffle stomped us in a really good way. Their deck did what it was supposed to do. Game 3, it was really tight both ways, and we just kind of eked it out. I don't feel like our opponent played badly. They kept a hand that had 2 hammers in it, and we knew that because they did the turn 2 play on, or if they didn't keep 2 hammers, we knew that they drew them before they were able to play out the Artisan because they were both 4/1s. And I think if those had been bigger, so they could have been on 5. Well, actually, if that hammer had been drawn after the Artisan had been played, they would have probably won that game because we killed them with Exaxes when they were on 9. And if they had 1 more armor, they would have been on 1. Their weapon would have been gone, but they would have still had their Yisha, and I would have had to go all in to make that swing, which might have meant that I wouldn't have gone all in. I would have just swung with enough to kill the hammer, which meant that they would have been at a lot higher life total, and they would have had a lot better chance of just kind of wrecking me. So, really lucky for us that hammer was a 4/1 because that gave us just the window we needed. It was a super good match 2 though, and then match 3, just like I said, we took a gamble. You guys heard me talking about it, and we managed to come out on top of it. So I'll get this video up there edited and ready to go. Thank you guys so much, and you have a wonderful day. Bye.